Hey guys, welcome to Good Bad Deadly. I'm Chris King.
Max Boy.
Today we got a 17-minute look at Guardians of the Galaxy in IMAX 3D.
And this is our breakdown. So the first part of our breakdown is screenplay.
Okay, cool. So the screenplay, pretty much what we just got was 17 minutes, as I said earlier. So what it really focused was dialogue. We got a lot of dialogue out of these characters, and it just kind of really builds on the trailers that we already got a good look at from these other past two trailers that were released. We just got a good feel about what you're going to expect out of this movie. It's really tongue-in-cheek. That's the way I'd usually describe it. How about you?
Yeah, I agree completely. It is tongue-in-cheek. I did get some darkness. I did get some interesting characters. You also get to meet some not Guardian characters. So that was pretty cool. So, yeah, next category is acting. So, what I liked about acting, of course, this is a given that I'm going to emphasize on Bradley Cooper's Rocket. I really enjoyed Rocket. You also get to see that everybody, including Rocket, is a well-rounded character. So that was pretty interesting. We saw Chris Pratt, obviously, as Star-Lord. And, again, well-rounded character. He's not just a typical good guy. He's actually an interesting character.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head right there. Just Chris Pratt alone, he really chose to just kind of really delve into this character and really make it his own, more importantly, because he is a comedian by heart. So he really adds that flair, but he also stuck really true to what James Gunn is trying to portray with Star-Lord. He made him something of a badass, something of a badass, but also he seems kind of clumsy at times. He's not exactly at that kind of military level that someone like Rocket is, someone like Drax is, But Bradley Cooper, too, just amazing actor. And him in this voice role is extremely impressive. I was really, really impressed. It sounds a little bit different than how he voiced him in the trailers. We got much more of a kind of a New York kind of an accent from him. But it fits Rocket. It fits him. He looks really, really good, and he sounds really, really cool, too. Groot, voiced by Vin Diesel. I saw in an interview that Vin Diesel actually said that he practiced each line about 100 times, which is just the same words, I am Groot. But he was even asking James Gunn, like, what am I really saying with this specific scene? And he just really, really portrays that emotion. When he's angry, it's a different kind of I am a Groot. When he's sad, it's a different I am Groot. So it's just really, really cool characters.
Next one is design.
So with design, the design, nothing really stands out once you actually see the film. As far as the environment goes, everything looks very kind of typical sci-fi space kind of station, something of that. But the character costumes, to me, really stood out. Gamora actually looks really believable as a green person. Drax looks a really, really cool kind of gray, but the tattoos being kind of more than tattoos, more like skin, just looks really, really cool. Groot, I'm really surprised that they actually stuck true to his character. He can manipulate his body. I thought he was going to be just a simple shell, because that's a lot easier to do with film. But no, they actually really built on the fact that he can manipulate his body. He can grow really, really tall. He can form like a shield out of just wood. It's just really, really cool. And Star-Lord looking really, really badass as usual.
I agree completely. My problem here is that it looks... We're obviously in a different galaxy, and everything just looks like a junkyard. We've kind of seen this before in like Firefly and other, sci-fi TV shows or movies. And I wanted them to expand more on the unearthliness, but this actually fits well to what they're doing. You could relate to all these things, and again, the character design is actually really cool. Rocket just looked awesome. Groot was amazing. I really, really enjoyed Groot. You even start seeing that he starts growing a leaf on him, and he just starts eating it just for fun. So, like the characters themselves really look great, and I can't wait to actually see the full costumes because we want to get to see little glimpses of that. So next up is cinematography. With cinematography, he obviously knew what he was doing. He obviously knew what to focus on. There was no shaky cam, which I was really happy about. There was actually an action sequence in the 17 minutes, and there was no shaky cam. You know exactly what's happening. You can see everything. He zooms in when he has to. You get super close-ups, extreme close-ups, and then you get wide shots. You do get to see the wires. You get to see like the wire work, not the actual wires. You get to see the wire work, but it just fits. You could see the strength. You could see that she is strong. She has a strong legs, and she pulls herself up. It doesn't actually look like wires, but of course, since we know that it is actually a human portraying this alien, but it works so well. He did a great job, and he took the risks.
Yeah, I mean the cinematographer that they put on this film particularly is doing an amazing job, especially with James Gunn right beside him. As you said, he does have a really strong eye for action. There's moments where the nuances you get to see with like Rocket climbing up Groot and spiraling around him. You get to follow him as he spirals up. You get really long shots and really extreme close-up shots that portray a lot of the emotion of anxiety, you know, a little bit of suspension. The action particularly looks amazing. And then on top of that, you also get these other kind of odd shots that we don't usually see. Like you get a first-person gun cam with Rocket, which is usually just for games. Like it looks like Call of Duty for just like 1 second. So cool, so innovative. We haven't really seen that in many films, so it just looks really, really awesome. And as you said, he has a really good eye for action. As long as he can keep that kind of close scope. When this movie is really expanded to these, we saw like a little tease of airship kind of battles and these kind of spaceship battles. If you can keep that same emotion and that kind of same technique, I think it's gonna look amazing.
Yep. So last we have atmosphere and mission.
So the overall atmosphere and mission in this movie, it is really, really tongue-in-cheek. As we said, it is a really edgy kind of film. It is not anything really remotely close to Thor or Iron Man or Captain America. It's much more tongue-in-cheek. It's really pushing the bar. It's like, okay, I'm giving you this project and now just go run with it, do whatever you guys want to do. It's a really good cooperation between the cast and the directors and everyone else who's behind the camera. Everything, it looked like everyone was in communication the entire time. It looks like they were having fun.
Yeah, I also really like this film. The 3D actually worked great with this. They took their time. They knew what they were doing with the 3D. This actually did feel like the wrong Avengers. Like, does this feel like Avengers that just shouldn't be together, but obviously they're forced to be together and obviously work together at one point. But you get to see that they're going to have so many conflicts, so many problems within each other, but it works so well and it's actually very interesting. Like, even though this shouldn't work, it works so well for me. So I think they did a really good job. This is tongue-in-cheek, this is dark, this is obviously funny. This has everything that I want to see. So I did hype this up. I am really, really into this, and I am going to be watching an Imax 3D. So that actually concludes our breakdown.
Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to follow us on Instagram to keep updated with our coverage regarding the Galaxy, and expect our review August 1st, 2014 when this movie launches.
See you then.